ahead of the Euros, particularly with him going into it in this sort of form. You compare him to these are players who've had this kind of season in their debut seasons for their clubs. So Mohamed Salah obviously played at Chelsea before he went to Liverpool, but there was Andy Cole's first season in the Premier League with Newcastle, Jurgen Klinsmann's first season in the Premier League with Tottenham, and Cole Palme, reaching 21 goals and 10 assists in a season has just been phenomenal for him. And I know he'd made a couple of appearances for City, but a first full season in the Premier League.
Unbelievable. Honestly, and it's these little blasts from the past, just to your memory of players. Sometimes we forget how good people were. But look at that Andy Cole, 34 goals. Thierry Henry, 20 assists. So there's some, that is amazing. That's illustrious, company that he's in there. And he has had an amazing season. He really has. And I said before the show, it's been the perfect signing. Not just because of, and even when you sell a player, of course you don't want to see players go, especially young homegrown talent. But I don't think it's really affected necessarily Manchester City. It's worked out well for them. How much did we say they pay for?
Was it 42, 45 million? Somewhere around that.
Around that
bargain, really.
Mark. 42 million. And he's been phenomenal. He's a joy to watch. He's got that languid, classy, beautiful style that we don't see many players possess. And he's a joy to watch because he sees a pass, he can nick a goal as well. He's a lovely footballer.
I mean, he glides past players as well as if they're not there at times. I mean, there was a period in the first half tonight at the City ground where he gets it in his own box and he just twists and turns. He just plays with calmness all over the pitch. As Jamie said there, he can find a pass for the first goal for Mudryk. I mean, he's been a breath of fresh air for Chelsea. They've been very lucky they've had him because it would have been a real negative season without him. But credit to him making that big move, hometown. Would have been quite easy to stay at Manchester City. Maybe being a bit part player because that's what he would have been at that football club. But fair play to him coming to London and being as good as he's been.
You're right, Michael. I think Pep alluded to it a few weeks ago. He said we didn't want to sell him, but he wanted to go. And I think you have to credit him for that because sometimes players can be so comfortable in their surroundings, they're getting paid good money. Well, you know what, I'll play a little bit. It doesn't matter if I don't always start. I'm going to win trophies. He wanted to play first team football and it's been benefited him so much because I don't think he'd have played at City. I don't see really where he'd have got in that central area, the competition with Bernardo Silva or Kevin De Bruyne. It would have been very difficult for him. And sometimes as a homegrown player, maybe you get a little bit neglected as well. Sometimes when you're always bringing in personnel, every time he played in wide areas, didn't look comfortable. He needs the freedom to play in the 10 or centrally so you can get him on the ball. And that structure that Pep likes to play with probably might not have suited him as much as what it is at Chelsea.
I hope it's going to be a bonus for England as well in the summer. For Gareth Southgate, there's going to be times in the tournament when we might need that little bit of quality to find a pass, open a team that everyone sits behind, an England team, go, we respect them, and can we unlock the deadlock? And he might be the man to do that.
Yeah, there was a time when he'd be absolutely nailed on to start for England, but there's such a kind of glut of talent in that particular area that you just don't know how
Foden, they're the people that he's going to be up against, Kelly. It's so difficult.
But listen, I know you don't want to go off air tonight without talking about Reece James and his return because, yes, he was instrumental in the goal for Chelsea, in the winning goal for Chelsea, and it's great for Chelsea fans to see him back. Mauricio Pochettino talked about how much they've missed him, but he too is a player who could be on the plane to Germany.
Yeah, it's a difficult one. We're just going through the squad there. I mean, Kyle Walker, would have to say, is probably the outstanding right back, number one candidate to play right back. You've obviously got Trent Alexander-Arnold as well. I think Trent sees himself as more of a midfield player now. Konsa played in those two games against Brazil when Kyle Walker came off. Trippier's been in and out with injury. I think talent-wise, he's as good as any right back in the world. Reece, I think it would be a bit of a gamble. It would be more of a gamble if there was 22 players, but the fact there's 26 maybe enables him to bring him. He's going to get 2 games now. I know we've got Brighton and they've got someone else on Saturday, Chelsea. Might give him some minutes that he needs. It would be certainly a risk, but he has got so much talent. And if he can stay fit, he's one of the best, but it's just whether Gareth feels it's a risk worth taking because you can see with the cross that he played today, he's such a talented player. I just hope he can stay fit because it's not only that, he's got to make sure he's fit next year. When you're a captain of a club and you can't play, and I've been in that position and you've been injured for a season, it's a nightmare. You feel it's a bit of almost a little bit, you feel embarrassed because you can't help. So Reece just needs to make sure as well that he comes back next year fully fit to have a really strong season.
How good do you think, Cole Palme? I'm so happy that we collect the 3 points, even though the performance of the first half is not good enough. For me, in this stage of the season, if we can have the 3 points with bad performance, I won't care so much, because now we need the remaining 2 matches. We need to win them to have hope of qualifying in Europe. So, what do you think about the match, and what do you think about Cole Palme? Feel free to leave your comment in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel. See you in my next video. Bye for now.